Hello and welcome to the first garden tour of 2021. I'm going to show you what my garden looks like in mid-April, and there are a lot of changes that I did, and there will be several changes that are coming in the future. So let's start with this bed where I have moved several of the plants. Right here is some alliums that were in a different garden bed. Here I get full sun all day, more than 8 hours. So a lot of things here can withstand that. I moved several of the catmints that were also in a whole different part of my garden, as well as this salvia over here, and then that smaller catmint, which was at the bottom of this garden bed and getting way too much moisture down there. And I also moved one of the barberries from another area again. And then I have a couple rose campions that are all coming up, looking healthy. I did move those around a little bit, and they're all looking very healthy. I've got some daffodils that are coming up. I thought I had taken out all the bulbs out of this section. Clearly I did not. So I have this as well. I also have some salvias over here. These are a smaller variety. I've got some muscari starting to bloom over here. They look very pretty. And then I've got this grass that is starting also to emerge. I have the yarrow over here, which I had lifted a bunch of it. I have some in small containers, and then I moved the pieces I wanted to keep there. These I still want to divide up and give them away, but I haven't fully decided. So those are still there for now. And then here we have the lavender. These were from winter sowing last year, and they overwintered beautifully. I think they're actually doing better than the lavender I purchased at a box store. Here is the spireas. I may not be keeping these spirea, and we'll see. But I don't feel like the shade might go well with sort of what I have in mind, but that's yet to be seen. I have this cherry tree here that wasn't doing well last year. I am hoping that this year it will do a lot better. You know, I've been trying to take care of it and give it fertilizer, and I did put in some biotone as well. So some of it is looking great. There are some stems that I'm a little concerned over that I may have to cut back, but I think it might pull through. So on this other side, this calendula was from last year. I had left several of the calendulas in here, and this particular one decided it was going to winter over. Either that or drop seed and the new seedling is coming up, but whatever it is, that was fantastic. I actually have some calendula all on its own growing here. So here are the other 3 alliums that I have. Again, those were all in that bed back there along the edge, and I've moved them over here. And then these are other 3 grasses. I'll put up the name of what they are. I always forget their name, little blue stem maybe. And then I have a hyssop right there. That was at the bottom of this bed. I had 2 of them. One of them got so much water, it rotted out. And then the other one did better in that spot. It grew, it was healthy, but I'd rather put it up here where it may not have quite as much water as at the very bottom of this bed. This is a slanted bed, and so obviously the water drains down to the bottom. Here I have some dianthus here, and I did cut it back pretty harshly, so this one is struggling the most, but they're starting to bounce back now, and yeah, I think they'll be all right. I think they'll come back. So below the birch trees, I had added a lot of the daffodil bulbs that I took out from that garden bed over there, and they're all doing great. Absolutely beautiful coming in, and I think they'll bloom in a few days, but I'm really happy that they took so well to this bed. Over in this little spot, this is where I have the 2 hollies. In the winter time, I had shown them with lots of red berries. Right now they're putting on some flowers, and here is an azalea that I had dug up from somewhere under here, and I transplanted over here 2 years ago, I want to say, and it's done so well. It has lots of great little buds, and I think one right there starting to emerge. So yeah, I think these will start flowering in a day or two, and so I'll record that so I can show it to you. And then here I planted some primrose. They were red. And I don't know, did they die? This absolutely got eaten. I thought these were poisonous. I don't know how this is gone, this flower. But anyway, so over here I have several changes as well. I moved several of the daisies. I actually cut them all up. These were in large mounds, but the center was all dead, decayed, and I just cut that out and moved it over. This bed is a little bit more shade in the afternoon. It gets sun till about noon or 1, and then I think certain things will do better here. So this is the St. John's wort. Again, that was over there. And I think it'll do better here. It does like a little bit of shade. Starting to come in a lot more every day, but it's been a little slow going, and I'm thinking I might cut back even a little bit more, but I've been waiting because I see things that look like little buds on it, and I didn't want to cut them out just yet. Anyway, so here is the hydrangea. This is a endless summer hydrangea. This was in the front of my house, and last year it got way too much sun in the front of the house. That area gets afternoon blazing hot sun, and they really struggled. So I did bring them over here. Unfortunately, we did get a couple nights of bad frost, and you'll see that several of the leaves that were already coming out all got damaged. So I may have lost some flowers, but otherwise it's growing in really nice. You can see in the center everything is coming up beautifully. I plan to put some foxgloves here in this area, and over here I purchased a screening fence to put here. And then here is the second endless summer hydrangea. Let's see if they come out blue this year, both of them, or if they will turn pink this year. And then I had last year some lilies that I had, some lily bulbs that I had planted, and several of them are coming up. Honestly, I don't remember which ones were which. I had the salmon star that came up, and I forgot the second one. It was white with this maroon color. So I moved a few of them here, and they're doing beautifully. And then I saw some were coming up back there. I'm debating on whether or not I'm going to actually move them from those spots. And then here's another plant. I'll throw up the name because I cannot pronounce it. I don't know it. And I moved this one from another area. I think it will like having this little bit of sun here and then in the shade in the afternoon. Over here, more of those daisies, snow-capped daisies that I have. And then this is my peony that I actually dug up, and a piece fell off, and it had eyes. So I took the chance and I put it over here, and I cannot believe it is so healthy, looking great, and it actually has a bud. I know I've heard many times that, it may take 2 or 3 years, but this one already has a bud. That is insane. This is such a great peony. So truly happy to see that. In the section here, I plan on putting some grow bags to grow vegetables this year. I did grow some zucchini last year and a little bit of cilantro, but I really want to expand that, and I thought this area would be great to put some grow bags and create almost like a raised bed area and be able to sort of fence it in a little bit. But one of the things I did was I dug up my Sempervivum from the first bed that I showed you and put these in the container over here. I cannot believe they literally have gotten twice as big as when I first put them in these pots. They are loving these pots. I don't want them though in these pots. I'm like, I don't know. I actually wanted to buy a strawberry container, one of the ones with little holes all over, and sort of create a little succulent garden in that, which I still think I will do. But I cannot believe how happy they are over here. I have these double daffodils and they're just beautiful. That one's just starting to bloom. Let's see what this one looks like. Yeah, I think this one might be the replete, which is a little bit more yellow and orange. And then this one I think is the Acropolis. This is my favorite one. I got this one from Color Blends. It's just stunning. I love that one. And I have this cherry tree that is in bloom. And just last week it was even more beautiful. I'll throw up a little clip of that so you can take a look at it. Absolutely gorgeous. Love this. This is the first blooming, or the tree that blooms the first for me of all my flowering trees. And here is the Veronica that I had transplanted. I had divided them and moved them over. And these three are probably some of the best ones. They're really coming in very nice. I've got a second peony here. Let's see, I forgot what this one is. Etched Salmon. And this one has always been very small. It was way back there. And I decided to bring it over here because that area gets shade by 1 p.m. And I think it might want a little more sun. So hopefully it'll get bigger. But this peony is always huge. And again this year, just looking gorgeous. And tons of buds on this one. I mean, every year it has more and more buds on it. Super excited to see this one. And I think it blooms around mid-May, if I recall from last year. But here's another addition. I added a trellis over here, and I plan to put a hyacinth beam here in between the two hollyhocks. Notice that hollyhock significantly larger. I do not know why. This one has a little behind. I did spray it with some deer and rabbit spray. I don't know, something may have munched it. Just looking at the bare little stems that are coming up, I believe there were leaves on that. So that might be why it's a little stunted. And then I added this cute little birdhouse. It is decorative. It is not intended for a bird to live in it. But yeah, I really wanted to add that in here. And then here's my winter sowing containers, or part of them. And everything's still looking good in there. I have a foxglove that overwintered here. So this was winter sown from the prior year, and this year it should flower. So I also have some astilbe that is coming up, but I had planted some bare root astilbe that I purchased at Walmart last year, and it survived. It's coming up all over the place. So I'm super excited to see this one. I have two other ones in another area that are also coming up. not as nice as this one. This one's doing much better. And then I have 2 hydrangeas here. These moved over from another area that we're going to next, and I need to put them here to make sure they don't get trampled on, because there'll be work done in that area, and I want to make sure I have at least 1 remaining of these hydrangeas. And I'll show you the other ones because I actually divided them and gave some away to my neighbors. So in this area, if you recall, these are the 2 hydrangeas. These are also endless summer, but these are twist and shout. These are lace cap hydrangeas. And these are the ones that they look so congested. And I looked at them a little more carefully, and they really had like all these extra shoots and like their own little plants on the side. They do root really, really well. So if a stem falls on the ground and it gets buried with soil, it will just grow roots. So very easy to propagate if you really wanted to. And so I dug them up to get that air circulation in here. So I think they're looking fantastic. So I actually also dug up daffodils and put them over here. I have some violas that I had purchased at Walmart, and I had put it back here. And there's little remnants over here, but the seed, I guess it decided to self-seed itself over here, and a little one over there. And I've got a new little statue I bought. I love her. She's so cute. I've been eyeing her for a while, so I finally pulled the trigger and bought that. And I have this here, which is a makeshift little bird bath for the time being, but of course, I have this shrub looking beautiful now, but I'm actually going to have this taken down. This pine tree is coming out. It's diseased. It's been bad for quite some time. We believe it's borers. I see a hole right there. And yeah, very, very clear. There's borers in here, and I just don't think we're going to be able to save this tree at all. It's just in its decline. What we're going to do is we're going to have 3 new trees added to this area. There were 3 over here, and then that way it'll shade, give us some privacy from our 2 neighbors where the 3 of us meet in this corner. I think that will be very nice to have, and in the future we may put a shed here. But in the meantime, I have these foxgloves. Again, these were all winter sown the prior year. I put the seedlings in here, and so all the foliage grew through the last season, and they should flower now this year. And these are from Floret, and they'll be this peachy pink color. And I have 1 columbine that survived and is starting to come up. So I'm super, super happy that this one, I wasn't sure that one would come up and would make it through. And then a little bit more muscari that I added here, just so sweet. Look down here. And then back here, I have some alliums that, some bulbs that I planted. I purchased them at Walmart, and I see buds everywhere. So, don't know what happened there, or if that's the allium actually going to bloom. It's a little short, or something ate it. Something tried to take a taste of it. This is another one of the twist and shout hydrangeas. The prior owner planted these here, and then they had planted like 4 or 5 of them, and one of them died, but that other one was here. So I did move some of the rose campion that I had over here, a bunch more rose campions, and then this is actually another piece of hydrangea that I had taken last year and put in this spot, and it's come back up. It overwintered beautifully. I took out the barberries that were here, and I kept one, the one that looked the best, which is in the first garden bed I showed you. Over here is the hydrangea, and I do need to take this out. Again, blazing hot sun here, it just gets scorched and doesn't hold very well. I have 3 heucheras here. They did well last year, but I am debating on whether or not these should get moved elsewhere. But for now, they'll stay here. This is the other snow-capped daisy that I have. See how it's just dead in the center. So I do plan on cutting this one up and either giving it to neighbors, my mom, whatever. That one's going elsewhere, or maybe add some more here. But these are the echinacеas, echinacea powwow, on either side here, and then another small little piece of that white snow-capped daisy. Kind of wanted to see how it does over here. I don't know how it'll overwinter. My boxwoods here are looking fantastic. They've actually started to put on real growth. It's taken several years now, but they are looking beautiful. And I also don't know what I'll put in those containers later this year. And over here is the astilbe. It's really hard to see. But anyway, there's some astilbe that's coming up here. And then here's the other one. This one's looking a little better than the opposite side. But some of the bare roots from Walmart did survive and actually come up. So excited to see those. But that's it for this garden tour. I know it's probably a bit long, but I hope to see you again next time. And thank you for watching. Bye.